State Representative Chris Turner of Grand Prairie, thank you so much.
You bet, good to be with you.
Good to be with you. So this could be the last week of special session 2. Are you expecting a third, or do you think this will be it?
That's entirely up to the governor. He has the authority to call as many special sessions as he like. But at this time, I don't expect another. I think the legislature's close to wrapping up, which is a good thing because the legislature hasn't done much good this summer in these 2 special sessions.
And let me ask you, because there's been a lot of discussion since the quorum break about punishments, penalties against the Democrats who did that. And now there are several bills. One bill would end fundraising if you quorum break. What do you make of that? Do you support that?
Yeah, no, I don't. Look, the Republicans are in a really vindictive mood right now. They want to deliver all this retribution on the Democrats, but the reality is this is their fault. They rushed this racially gerrymandered congressional map through the legislature, and we fought back. And they don't like it that we fought back, but that's too bad. So they can bring all these punishments and vindictive things that they want. We're going to continue to fight for our constituents.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Attorney General named you. Isn't the Attorney General suing you to try to get you out of office? The quo warranto?
That's right. Ken Paxton and Greg Abbott are trying to remove me from office, along with a dozen of my colleagues in the Democratic caucus. Look, their case in my view, has no merit whatsoever. We have some great lawyers who have filed a response in the Supreme Court, and we'll wait to see what the court decides. But I'm going to stay focused on fighting for my district and representing my district.
Were your constituents upset about you breaking quorum, or no? Did they support you?
My constituents are very supportive of what I did to stand up for our democracy, stand up for their voting rights, and we had a lot of positive feedback from my district, from my constituents, thanking me for taking the step of breaking quorum to fight back against the Trump power grab.
There's another bill also that passed the Senate that would ban fundraising in special sessions. What do you make of that? Do you support that?
I could support that bill.
Why?
Well, because we don't have fundraising allowed during regular sessions of the legislature, and it is kind of a loophole or an oversight that it is allowed during special sessions. And I think, as someone observed, and I think it's right, I think if you had that law, I think there'd be far fewer special sessions, and that would be good for Texas.
And then my last question to you is with regards to one bill that would lower the quorum number, so from 2/3 to a simple majority, 76. Do you support something like that? Do you think that would pass?
Yeah.
Because that would require a constitutional amendment.
Well, it would require a constitutional amendment, and that's a 2/3 vote of the House and the Senate. I don't think this is the right time to consider something like that right after.
Why not?
Right after a quorum break. I don't think that that's the time for something that significant, a major change to the Constitution to be considered. Could it be considered someday? Sure, it absolutely could. It is true that Texas is one of very few states that has a supermajority quorum requirement, but there's a reason for that too, and that the people who wrote our Constitution back in the 1800s wanted to empower the minority to have some rights, and that's one of the ways we can exercise those rights, and which is what we did this past summer. So I want to think long and hard about that, but I don't see that going anywhere just right now.
How concerned are you about going forward? There will be increased penalties for quorum breakers, because House Republicans, that's what they would like to see, as far as losing chairmanships and vice chairmanships, as far as losing seniority, as far as increasing fines.
Yeah. Well, look, Republicans can do all the stuff that they want to do in that regard. The reality is I'm never going to stop fighting for my constituents, particularly when it comes to their voting rights, nor my Democratic colleagues. If they think that changing our parking space or removing our seniority is going to affect our commitment to fighting for those values, they're sadly mistaken.
What about the fines? Because didn't you get a letter from the chairman of the House Administration,
Yes.
Charlie Geren? How much do you owe?
about $9,300.
How do you pay for that?
Well, it's significant, and so it's not due yet. I'm confident I'll comply with all the House rules, and we'll pay my fine if that's the final figure that I'm given. And we knew that going in. We knew that there would be those fines in place, and so that's why this escalation of penalties, where they're trying to think of new things to do to us, is really absurd. But we're going to continue to fight for our constituents and for their voting rights. And Republicans, they can do all this kind of retribution that they want to do. That's not going to change our commitment.
Representative Chris Turner, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jack.
I appreciate it.
Good to be with you.